Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video I'm gonna talk about 4 of my own books I want to read in 2026. So let's talk about them. So last year I did actually completed my challenge that for the 4 books I want to read that I wanted to read it last year. I can put the video in my description. But yes, now I feel like I want to do the challenge again because I buy books and I also need to read them, and I also want to read them because I do buy them because I find them to sound interesting when I read about them. So of course I want to read them, and yes, so I will also probably read more than just these 4 books from my own bookshelf, but because I do have some reading ideas or reading vlogs ideas, and then I also have a few books that I want to read in December or when Christmas are coming. So I will probably read more than just these 4 books from my bookshelf. But I also am a mood reader, so I want to be able to mood read. But here are my 4 books that I want to read at least in 2026. So I'm gonna start with the Swedish books first, and then I have 2 Swedish books, and then I have 2 English books. And like I said, I will probably read more than just these 4 books, but like I said, I want to mood read as well. So yeah. So and this is Hennes ögonblå, and I will probably translate this to Her Blue Eyes. And this takes place during 1671, so years ago, and we're following a woman. She's accused of witchcraft. In 8 months, and 8 months later, she escapes, and she's pregnant, and she's been traumatized, and she's running, and she's now 8 months later, she's running home where she's been captivating, and now and that's we are having 2 timelines, then and now, because now we are in 2012, and we are, so there is a present and older timeline in 1617, and so I do like books when it's has 2 timelines, when it's like older, like back in the days, and when it's present. So I do actually remember that I got this from the publisher, so I should read this because I haven't read it. Yes, and then I will also read a continuation from the first book. I read the first book in this trilogy last year. I will put the picture of this book here, and this is then the second book in that trilogy, and I want to continue this book series because I do remember how the first book ended, and of course I should continue the trilogy, so I don't need to read the first book again just to remind me of what had happened. And now I'm gonna talk about the English books. Yes. The first book, I actually started reading a few 1 year ago, or I did remember that I borrowed the book from a library, and then I don't know. It wasn't that the book was bad. It wasn't. But I wasn't in the mood for the book, so I didn't. I returned it to the library. Didn't finish reading it, and yes. But then I think it was last year, because I think I started reading it 2 years ago, but returned it to the library. But I did buy it last year, and now I feel like I want to give this a try again, because I do think I would love the book, because it's The House That Horror Built, and by Christina Henry, and I love horror movies. And what I do remember from the first time when I started this book, I just got the feeling of, the classics of horror movies, like Halloween, what's Friday the 13th. It just got me those classical horror movie vibes. And yes, I don't know really why. Like I said, I guess I wasn't in the mood to read this, because I did try to read it in English, and yes, but I do want to read this year, because I want to know what's happened. And by the way, I like Christina Henry, so yeah. I have read another book by her. I think it's The Girl in Red. I think it has that name of the book. But yes, so, and this is pretty short as well, so yes, I want to read this book because I like horror movies. So yeah, and it's like, yeah, I am looking forward to read this. And of course we need, like, I think last year I read another book by him, and whenever I am picking my books, I am also of course gonna pick a Stephen King book. Gerald's Game, I think that's the name, but I haven't read the book. But I do have seen the movie years ago. Like I do still remember the movie. But I haven't read the book. And I think I bought this like 2 years ago. Or yeah. And yeah, so and it's a Stephen King book, and he's one of my favorite authors. And of course I want to read anything that he writes. I know that this book is old. This one is old. I think this came out. I think this came out. No, in 1992 this came out. So this is old. And yes, so it's a Stephen King. I like Stephen King. He's my favorite author. I want to read anything that he writes and everything that he writes. So, and I have only seen the movie, and I did like the movie, so I'm gonna read the book this year. So that is the 4 books that I'm going to prioritize this year to read, because yeah, 3 of these books I have bought not recently, if I put it that way. So I want to give at least these 4 books some love this year. And I will, like I said, I will probably read more from my own bookshelf this year, because last year I read like 7 books from my own bookshelf after the 4 books that I picked out. So I think I will read more from my own bookshelf this year as well. But here are 4 books that I will at least I will put the word here because I just forgot the word. Prioritize That's the word. So, have you read any of these? Have you read this one, or have you seen the movie? Let me know what are the books that you wanna prioritize from your bookshelf, and I will see you in another video very soon. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. That will make me happy, and it will help my channel grow. And yes, we can talk books. Bye.